Right then, one more heat left to go here for round number 2 of the Rally Replay SuperOne series. Here is your grid for Micromax and Mighty Cadet Heat 2. Evan Mellor and Theo Jepson on the front row of the grid, with Freddie Blackshaw and Noah Wicklow on row 2. And Benjamin Slavar and Toby Cannon there on row number 3. Row 4 has Ray Owen and Will Hatton. Then it's Henry Perrin and Lanny Adurnia, top 10. Isaac Gardner and Alex Holt are on there on the 6th row. Then Charlie Cale and Eleanor Shelby Parsonage, the last row of your Micromax grid. Then we move on to William Cromby and Harry Stinson on the front row of the Mighty Cadets. They'll be followed by Xavier Ramsey and TJ Mackay. Then it's Heath Smith and Ethan Kuehl, Kane Langley and Jack Swong, Noah Maiba and Daniel Stangerine, followed by Logan Jackson, Will Beattie, Chase Wilmington, Freddie Turkington, Brandon Harley, Hadley Jarvis. I do think that's it. 30 drivers on the grid for this one then. Split between the two classes. 14 in the Micromaxes and 16 in the Mighty Cadets. Here we go then. Drivers getting ready to leave the dummy grid. Just a little bit more of a hold up in this one as we get some things sorted out on the black stuff. Oh, there's been a bit of a change here. Hold on a second. Yeah, in heat number 1, the results have definitely changed. Benjamin Slavar has got the win in race number 1. Will Hatton in 2nd place. Raith Owen in 3rd. Theo Jepson in 4th. Henry Perrin in 5th. Toby Cannon with some penalties in 6th place. Eleanor Shelby Parsonage in 7th. Then Freddie Blackshaw in 8th place. So we saw some great battling at the front of the order in the Micromaxes. But clearly, some things being sorted after the checkered flag. This is why I say, if you want the final results, head over to results.alphatiming.co.uk/Super1. That will give you those finalised results. We can only give you the provisionals out here on the live stream. So what was it then? Who were we looking at? Toby Cannon, Freddie Blackshaw and Evan Mellor. The Toby Cannon getting +5 positions. Contravention of flag signal during the race. Evan Mellor +10 positions. Also contravention of flag signal during the race and gaining an unfair advantage. +5 positions for Freddie Blackshaw. So that makes sense then why we've seen all of those three dropping down the order. They were in and amongst it at the top end of the field, scrapping over it right through the race. But a number of penalties drops them right down the order when all is said and done. I will say, no penalties at all in the Mighty Cadets, so that's lovely to see. Xavier Ramsey taking the win out on circuit. Fair play to Xavier, securing a win for the RCE team. And again, this is another grid. The Mighty Cadets with a load of RCE drivers in and amongst it. Can Xavier Ramsey do the double though and get 2 wins from both of the heats? Well, not long until we get to work that out, ladies and gentlemen. First up to the tram lines will be our Micromaxes. Then a few moments later, it'll be those Mighty Cadets. Firstly, we hear the rumble of the Micromaxes, and then it'll be the silence of the Mighty Cadets. Round the final corner they come then. Last heat of the day. Do we get it underway in racing? No, we don't. Chevron flag is out. Chevron flag is out on the gantry. The drivers will be going round again. Looking at the Mighty Cadet start, though, I haven't seen anyone seem to tell them that there's a chevron flag. I've seen lots of thumbs ups. I think the drivers will be thinking that they are going for the race start, but there is a chevron flag on the gantry, and they are told that they're going round again. So another lap to get some heat in those tyres and get themselves ready. It's so difficult, though, when you sort of build yourself up for that race start. The adrenaline begins to pump as you come around that final corner. You get yourself amped up, you get ready to go, and suddenly you've got to drop it all again. You go round again, get ready to go again. You've got to build yourself back up yet again, ready for that dump of adrenaline. And let's see who can do that the best then as they get ready to go for a second time. You can see there Theo Jepson on the outside of your screen just gesticulating furiously to Evan Mellor, telling him to slow down. You don't want to... that is some serious gesticulation there from one of our marshals here at Rowrah. Making sure they all slow down. Evan Mellor's got to control that pace heading around the final corner. Of course, when lights go out, that's when you can go full throttle. And then it's only when you cross the end of the tram lines can you break formation and start racing. I think he might have gone a bit too early there again. Nope, this time it's called absolutely fine. Evan Mellor leads us on to the last heat of today's action. Theo Jepson has to chop in behind. They stay as they were as they head down towards McRae's then. We look in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen at the start for the Mighty Cadets. Move for 3rd place. Is that Noah Wicklow making his way through? He's certainly squabbling in. Is the number 53. Here come the Mighty Cadets, though, across the line to start their race. As they come under the gantry, they kick it all off. William Crombie and Harry Stinson lead us up the hill, side by side in the mid-pack, though it's all getting a bit closer comfort. Good move for the number 12 there. That's Logan Jackson making his way through very, very nicely. Down towards McRae's they go. The 20 car down the inside, that is. Kane Langley trying to make some places as well. He's going side by side with Logan Jackson now. Switchback from the number 20 of Kane Langley. Great move from Kane as he shuffles Logan Jackson wide. And Logan's going to lose 3 places because of that one. After a really nice start there for Logan Jackson. Shuffled wide and shuffled back down the order. He now goes back down the inside of the 22 of Daniel Stangarin. The Hungarian driver just getting ever so slightly shuffled back. As to the end of lap number 1 go our Mighty Cadets then. Still William Crombie, I believe, at the sharp end of the order. Well, they'll come across the gantry, come under the gantry, I should say, now to end lap number 1. It is William Crombie in the lead of this race. Of course, this is the one where I have to not look at the live timing because we have the issue with the interference from the electric engines. But I'll do my best to continue to call this one through. It is the 15 who's at the sharp end of the order in this one. Well, that can't possibly be right. I don't have a number 15. Oh, that's William Crombie, right? I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused between the 2 classes already. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. There's a move down the inside for the 53, though. This is back to our Micromaxes. Noah Wicklow making a move, but he's going to be on the outside here as they head up through the S's. How do they not make any contact there? Great racing room given between, who I believe are teammates there, but down the inside, going to think about it, is the 28 of Freddie Blackshaw. So Wicklow is up into the top 4, is he? Yes, because the 17 of Evan Mellor has left them all in his dust. Evan Mellor with quite the sizable lead there at the front of the Micromaxes. Now look at that. As they head down towards the Stewart S's, that's a good second or 2 there that Mellor has in the bank. Theo Jepson has slipped into 3rd place. I'm still trying to work out who it is that's managed to get past. Right, here we look back to the Mighty Cadets. William Crombie is in the lead of this race. Up and under attempt there from Xavier Ramsey. Going to go for it down the inside this time though. Xavier, will the door be closed? No. Given the racing room, up and under goes Harry Stinson as well. Side by side, nearly in the barrier for Harry Stinson. Whoa, that was a heart in the mouth moment there for the number 78. Just enough room given by William Crombie. But either way, Xavier Ramsey up into the lead of this race then. Down to 2nd place goes William Crombie. And Harry Stinson into 3rd. Here's the battle over 2nd place in the micros though. Is that Theo Jepson trying to make the move? Still trying to hold the inside line. He might lose out around the outside though. Tries the number, that's the 16 of Theo Jepson. They've got almost identical helmets. Come on, let me off on that one. It's Freddie Blackshaw, I think, who's managed to get through on the number 28. No, it's not. It's Noah Wicklow on the 53. Wow, this is more difficult than I thought it was going to be without live timing. It's Noah Wicklow up to 3rd place then, and Wicklow piling on the pressure to the number 3 of Toby Cannon. So Cannon had a nice start as well in this race from 6th place up to 2nd, and now doing his absolute best to hold on. Through go the Mighty Cadets, chasing down a few of the rearward Micromaxes then. There's the 53 of Wicklow now at the front of this train, so that's changed. Cannon just trying to hold on there to 3rd place. Toby Cannon does hold on to it side by side there. Up and a spin there in the Mighty Cadets, and an awful place to be facing the wrong direction. Hopefully the driver's able to get out of the way, and it looks like they have done as I look out of my comms box window. But facing the wrong direction there. That was up near the sharp end of the Mighty Cadets as well. We'll see how that's all changed everything when we look back to them. Micromaxes though pressing on. Still Wicklow there in 2nd place. I have to keep reminding myself that Evan Mellor is still in a different postcode out in front. So Cannon still there in 3rd place under lots of pressure from a couple of drivers. I think Blackshaw's one of them. And Theo Jepson is the other, if I remember correctly. There they are. 53 of Wicklow, the 3 of Cannon. Then there's Theo Jepson in 4th. Here's the Mighty Cadets pressing on by a couple of the Micromaxes. Here we look back to the battle for the podium places here in heat number 2. Of course, no official podium, but you always want to be up there near the sharp end. Jepson still piling on the pressure here to Cannon, unable to find a way through though. And he's in a bit of a sandwich there as they head down through St John's. There is your leader, the 17 of Evan Mellor, continuing to pull away. at the front of the order. So just like we've got some Mighty Cadets catching some of the rearward Micromaxes, we've got some of the Micromaxes catching some of the rearward Mighty Cadets. They're all shuffling up out there on circuit at the moment. Still 1.5 minutes left to go in this race. Through we follow a couple of drivers here into the final corner. There is the number 20. Battling for position, that's Kane Langley. Potentially being overtaken there. Is that the 76 who's heading on through? I think it's the 76 of Jax Wong. Flying the flag of Hong Kong as, oh dear, we've got a full course yellow out on circuit. Battenberg flag has come out then. I can see that on the comms box window. Thank you for that update from my producer. Of course, I got no live timing, so I couldn't have seen that. But yeah, Battenberg flag is out on circuit. Not quite sure as to why, though. I can't see any reasoning from the commentary box anyway. But it looks as though we might have a car off down at the first hairpin. Of course, drivers going to Battenberg flags, going to Battenberg flag formation, I should say, staying in single file as they head on through, and that just slows everyone up. Basically, the leader has to act as a safety car, and this is far, far less than ideal for Evan Mellor. He created a lovely gap out there at the front of the order, as there we can see the driver being whisked away from their car. Hopefully, they're all okay down there at McRae's. We never want to see a driver off in the wall. But this will only really be an issue for Evan Mellor if we do go back to green flag racing here for one final lap. The timer has hit 0. So either way, when they come round this time, they'll be starting the final lap. The question is it going to be a final lap under Battenberg flag, or is it going to be a final lap under green flag conditions? We wait and see what the answer to that is as they head on round sector number 3. I'm waiting to see which flag will be picked up. Last lap board is coming out. Looks like the Battenberg flag is going to be going in, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going back to green flag racing here. Yes, we will. One final flying lap here in the last heat of the day. And this is it for Evan Mellor. Can he hold on to it? Heading up the hill, the 53's trying it down the inside. Evan Mellor holds on to it. Over the top of the crest they go. Huge battle for the lead is back on, ladies and gentlemen. And Evan Mellor is put in the most difficult position a kart racer can be in. I can see a few drivers up near the top end still going slowly like they're in Battenberg flag conditions. I hope they don't catch them before they go back to green flag conditions here for those two drivers. Anyway, let's wait and see what happens. Mellor heading on down to the stewardesses here. Move down the inside. Move down the inside for the 53. Great move through for Noah Wicklow. Wicklow to the sharp end of the order. There go the Mighty Bambinos to start their final lap of the race as well. But look at this battle for the Micros. Through the final sector they come then. It's Noah Wicklow who's going to lead us in. It was an easy win for Evan Mellor, but the Battenberg flag has scuppered him and he's going to lose second place on the line as well. He's going to lose second on the line as well. Evan Mellor's going to feel really, really disheartened from that one, but that's what can happen in racing. A yellow flag across the whole circuit, going back to green flag racing conditions for one singular lap. And Evan Mellor drops from first to third. That is gutting for him. But well done to Noah Wicklow, who took the win there in the Micromaxes. And again, with the lack of live timing, I'm not actually sure who's won the Mighty Cadets. We're watching the 22 come round the final corner. That's Daniel Stangarian. There's a move from the 27 on the 39. Great move at the final corner there for Noah Maiber. But either way, end of the race then for both our Micromaxes and our Mighty Cadets. And that is the end of the heats here for round number 2 of the Rally Replay SuperOne series. Of course, without the live timing, we're going to struggle to show you any proper results there for the end of that race. All I know is Noah Wicklow took a great win there on the final lap there in the Micromaxes. So well done to him. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, head over to results.alphatiming.co.uk/SuperOne for any of those finalised results once they're all said and done.